Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and let's go through this assignment. So this is the maze challenge, and what we're learning how to do is control outputs. That's the robot movement, and then try to figure out how to improve your program. Okay, so it should take about 4 days to finish this. It's going to take the first couple of days to go through and get it to solve the maze, and then 2 days to wrap up, improve your program, and then complete a 6-page portfolio and submit your files in Canvas to show me that you've successfully improved the program. So this is the simulation link. We'll get to that in just a moment. And everything's going to start with a common header. You're going to have your name and what this activity is at the top. And another thing you need to do so I can see where your robot goes is you need to set a pen color down. And we're going to be using a stopwatch in this one as well. So these are the sequences you can choose from. So you pick one of those, and it has to stop at each one for 2 seconds. All right. This is the maze. So you can look at the numbers and letters and see the numbers and letters here in the maze. So you are at the start box. You will end on the red checkerboard. You have to document your code with pseudocode, and this is just a description of what your program's going to do. This is what it might look like. So I put my name, I put the activity, I put the name, here's my name, here's the activity. This is the complex description, and all I did is copied and pasted the text from the slideshow, and then I put in which sequence I was going to do. And then for the simple behaviors, we have some lines that describe chunks of what the program is going to do. So we're going to start a timer, and we're going to turn the pen on. And then we're going to drive from the start box to box 2, and then we're going to go from 2 to C, and C to 4, and 4 to D, and D to the finish, and then we're going to stop the timer. And that's essentially the big steps that this program is going to do. So now when we're actually writing the program, that's what we're going to do. One of the things I figured out that makes this a little bit easier, instead of trying to turn 90 degrees this way and 90 degrees that way, use the command turn to heading, and recognize that 0 degrees is north, 90 degrees is east, 180 degrees is south, and 270 degrees is west. And this is just like sailing a ship. So you can navigate the course using these headings. It has a lot less problems if you do that. So you're going to get it to navigate it, and this is how to add the stopwatch in the code. I'm going to send, so you can ask for a chunk of sample, and I will send you some stuff if you need to. The program is going to be named like this. When you're done, that will be your last name and first initial. And so it's just, here's some interesting things you need to keep an eye on. And then for version 2, you're going to look at its performance, look at the time, and you're going to try to figure out how to make it do that maze faster. How can you reduce the time, and what kind of % increase can you see? And I've seen some increases over 100%. This is how you calculate your time. And the portfolio, I've provided a template that you can just download, or make your own copy and fill it out with your content and send it to me. These are the slides you have to have, and that's the question you have to submit. There are 2 things to submit at one time: the PDF of your portfolio, which is 6 pages, and version 2 of your program. This is the improved version. Download it and attach it in Canvas when you turn it in. And that's it. Let's take a look at the programming environment. If you haven't done so already, the tutorials are worth a look. And in a previous assignment, I listed out the ones you needed. So here are the tutorials. So if you want to drive back and forth, that's something good to look at. If you want to learn how to turn, there's a place to go. Getting started is a great place to look if you haven't used this. If you want to save your project and load your project, that's important for this. How to change the name, using my blocks, and using activities and resources, using templates and examples. If you haven't gone through some of these, you probably should. Another thing you need to take a look at if you get stuck, if you choose File and Open Examples, you can look at these to see some pieces of code doing what you may be trying to do. So this is a good place to go if you're getting stuck about how to do something. But let's take a look at what we have here. So what I did in this, I'm going to hide the playground here. Let's take a look at our code. So the code says we're going to replace item 1 of stopwatch. This is a list that I made to a timer in seconds. To see this, I need to go to the monitor window, and click Add Lists, choose Stopwatch, and save. And now it shows me the stopwatch value. Okay, so I'm going to hide that, get that out of the way for now. We're going to put the pin down because we want to trace everywhere the robot goes, some comment blocks to put your name in, and then I'm going to drive from start to box 2. That's what I'm doing here. So I looked at the maze and I decided how far I needed to drive forward. 250 millimeters is a magic number for this maze project. So I'm turning to the west, and I'm driving, then I turn to the west and drive, then I go to the north and drive, and then I turn to the west and drive, and then I turn to the south and drive, and then I wait 2 seconds. And at this point, I am in box 2. So let's take a look at the program and see what it shows. So here's the code, and here's the program. So I'm going to hit play, and you can see the robot goes from the start position, and it goes all the way to box 2. And then it waits for 2 seconds. And that's the end of my program. Okay. Some of the things I did to help me in this is I set these 2 little blocks here because it's always turn and drive, turn and drive, turn and drive, turn and drive. So I just right click on this and choose duplicate, and then I can put my next move right there. So that's something that will help you, is have those 2 little turn and drive blocks, and you just duplicate those. That way you minimize the amount of dragging back and forth. Then at the very end, you need to attach this little chunk of code. Let me show you what it does. So we're going to reload this. I'm going to hit start, and while it's running, we're going to look at this monitor here. So it counted the stopwatch at 1/1000th of a second. And then when it gets to the end and waits 2 seconds, it's going to update this. And so it took 12.4 seconds to finish that drive from here to here. So that's how you use the stopwatch, and I think I have given you lots and lots and lots of information at this point. So I'm going to name this maze example, and I can send it to you.